Hi, welcome to the Miller Life Kitchen. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. We are here today for my first edition of Canuary 2023. So what's really exciting is the prizes. This year, not only is Lisa again giving away a 23-quart Presto canner, she has also teamed up with 4 Jars Canning Company, and they are giving away 3 prizes. First prize is a 21-quart all-American canner with 200 canning lids. Second prize is a gift basket with a $100 Visa card. And third prize is going to be another gift basket with a $50 Visa card. So good luck to everyone. And how do you enter? This is what you have to do. You need to watch all of the Canuary videos. There will be 30 days of Canuary videos. I will have a link in my description box also that goes to Lisa's site that has the calendar. So you know what channels to follow, but there's also a calendar there of who's coming up when, so you don't miss any. Just leave a comment and you will be entered into the prize giveaway. Good luck to everyone. Those are some amazing prizes, and it's really exciting to be able to be part of this collaboration. Thank you, Lisa, for having me. For you canners out there, the recipe I'm going to bring you today is really exciting. I love soup. My first installment in Canuary is going to be a clam chowder base. I am going to be doing New England. However, you can make it into Manhattan, and I'll let you know how to do that as well. It is an approved recipe. It is from the Ball Guide to Preserving. It's like a paperback book. Can you tell that I've leafed through this a few times? But yeah, this is an approved method. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're doing seafood, it's always 100 minutes. So definitely make sure that when you are canning this base that you're going to be canning it for 100 minutes. You can only use a pint jar or less. Nothing larger than a pint jar for the clam chowder base. And also no cream, no milk, no butter. There is salt pork in it, however, but with this large of a recipe, a half a pound of less of salt pork, or if you cannot find salt pork, you could use bacon. Under a half a pound in this large of a recipe is an approved addition to the recipe. Let's get started. Okay, I have everything I need ready to go. I have my rings. I have my 4 jar lids, which I am going to be putting hot water over top of to soften them up. This is my first time using these, and I read the back. Always good to read directions. And it says to place lids in a saucepan and cover with water. Bring to a simmer. I'm not going to simmer them. I'm just going to put them in warm water and have them soaking while I'm getting all the jars filled up. I have my ingredients. So we have 1 large onion, which is 1 cup of onion. This is the pork salt, which probably after I cut off all the really large areas of fat, I would say this probably turned into maybe a quarter of a pound or a little bit more, not quite half a pound. So a half a pound and under is regulation for a canning recipe of this size. Then I have my funnel, my debubbler, and I had to dig this baby out because I haven't been using this with other lids that I'm not soaking. Look, there's one getting away on me. I haven't been using these because I don't soak my lids. So that I had to dig for, but I still have it. Woo! I have something to wipe my rims. I have some water here. I'm not going to use vinegar. It's not a sticky thing, so I'm not going to use vinegar. I'm just going to use water. I have my clams back here with juice. So it comes to 3 to 4 quarts of it. And then we're going to be doing 2 quarts of boiling water. And that is everything, I believe. My funnel. And then I just wanted to, for newer canners out there, I am using my Presto canner which is back there on the stove. And I do have the amount of water that's called for in it. But I also wanted to just quick show you that make sure that this is not blocked. You can hold it up and like look through it, and you can see, if you could see through it, you can see that it's blocked, or literally blow through it and blow through it, and you feel air on the other side, it's not blocked. So everything is ready to go. I checked everything. Make sure your seal is in here, and then this will go on after we get everything going. This is a hot pack recipe, so I have my jars in my dishwasher, and I did the quick rinse, Santi rinse, so that the jars would warm up, because you want them to be warmed up so when you put in the warm liquids, you don't shock the jar. Another way you could do that is have your warming canner on the stove and have them in there and keep them warm that way. So that's your second way you could do it. I've already done it as well though, where I have warm water in them in my sink. I also had my potatoes in the sink in water while I was getting everything ready. I did use red potatoes, and they are peeled, and you want 2 quarts of diced potatoes. I didn't make them really big. Tried to keep them as uniform as possible. I did cut them up myself by hand. I didn't use any apparatus because I sometimes find it therapeutic chopping things. So I do have a little bit of fruit fresh in here to prevent them from going brown while I was getting everything ready. So I'm gonna drain these, and then we'll get started with the recipe. First step to the recipe is we are going to brown our pork salt. All right, once you slightly browned your meat, then we're gonna be putting our 1 cup of onions in. You want them softened up and translucent, but not browned or caramelized. I did forget to mention with the pork salt, you don't want it to be real crisp like bacon, because this is in your soup. If you wanted to put bacon crumbles on after the fact, that'd be delicious. And also, if your pork salt, you don't cut off a lot of the big areas of fat, you may have to drain some of the grease because you don't want too much of that in there. Okay, so these are softened and slightly translucent. Took about quite 5 minutes. Next, we're going to be putting in, you want 2 quarts of hot water, which would be 8 cups. There's 4. Oh my gosh, am I gonna make it? Ooh, just made it. All right, 8 cups. Then I'm going to add in my potatoes, my drained potatoes. This is 2 quarts, which was about 12 potatoes, medium-sized. Then we're going to add in our 3 to 4 quarts of clams. I am using minced, but you could use chopped also. Now we're gonna bring this up to a medium boil. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a hot pack recipe. Now I'm gonna add, at this point, you can do a little salt and pepper to taste. I'm just gonna add a little bit because I rather do it after the fact than have too much. I'm just putting a little bit of kosher salt. That's not much at all. Plus the salt pork, obviously, salt pork, I think will be good. And that is everything for the actual base. You're gonna do a medium boil for 10 minutes. Okay, I have everything I need ready to go. I just took these jars out of the dishwasher. You're going to want to try to get an even distribution of the contents between all the jars, and then put the liquid in. You're going to be going to 1-inch headspace. Now with soup, you want to try to do about 50% solid, 50% liquid. So once again, you're going to be finagling these a little bit. I'm going to get everything evenly distributed in the jars, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I have it finagled that I have pretty much the same amount of solids. And now we're going to do the liquid. And we're going to do this to 1-inch headspace. When you're looking for headspace, your debubbler has the headspaces. So for newer canners, this is a great way to see if you have your headspace correct. Spot on. All right, we're gonna move that to the next jar. I'm going to wipe the rim, and then I'm going to put my lid on, grab a ring, fingertip tight. So in the canner it's going to go, which I do have heating up over here on low, about 180 degrees you want that to be. Let me put that back there. All right. Next jar. Going to put our liquid in. Okay, we're going to put our liquid in, which I have too much. You get too much in there, like don't mess up your Zen. Like just get a spoon and gently get rid of some of it. I over poured on that one for sure. All right. If you want to check your headspace, here you go. It's right on. Flip it over, debubble, debubble. There's a lot of liquid in this, so you don't have to be as concerned about having air pockets as you do when you have a more solid canning project going on. And then we're going to wipe our rims. Get my lid. Grab a ring off of my sauerkraut presser, which I got. Linda from Linda's Pantry does that, and I asked her one time, I said, what do you use? Where'd you get that? What is that thing? It's a sauerkraut pusher. How cool, right? But it's great. It's a great little thing to just put your rings on. Keep everything organized. I'm that person. Can be an illness sometimes. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna finish getting these filled up and get them in the canner, and I'll be back. I have ended up with 9 pints, and I'm gonna get my lid on and get this started. Okay, so here we are. I've got my canner going, she's warming up, and it's gonna be hard to see on, actually Lisa did this the other day on her video. Oh, that does work. Yay, Lisa. There, you can see my steady stream of steam. And you're gonna get that going for 10 minutes. Now, this has not popped up yet, but it will. And what's going to be happening The reason we're doing this is we are evacuating all of the air out of the canner. Once the 10 minutes is up, then we're gonna put on our weight. I will be using a 10-pound weight because of my altitude. You do need to check that and make sure you know where your altitude, what your altitude is, and what your pounds of pressure are. There she is, steady as she goes. We are processing these pint jars for 100 minutes. All right, my timer went off. I turned my stove off. And now we're just gonna let everything come down naturally. Don't touch it, don't take that off, don't do anything. We're just gonna bring everything down to 0 pressure. And if you notice, my gauge was at 12, but it was rocking perfectly. So sometimes the gauge isn't always right. That's why I love having the little rocker. I can tell better. This will come down all the way also, so that's another important factor that you need to make sure that that's down. And then you're just gonna let everything come down. And once it's at 0, I always just wait a few minutes extra and then open my lid. And then I let it sit a little bit longer before I take out my jars. Here they are with the lid off. I'm letting it cool down. And now I'm getting them out of the canner. They look great. Now you're going to let them sit for 12 to 24 hours and allow them to seal. And then you're going to remove the rings tomorrow and wash them up and label them, and they're ready for your pantry shelf. Here they are, all 9 pints, and a lot of them have sealed already. I'll show you today how to make this into the actual soup from the base. The headspace is perfect, and all of them sealed. So that's a win-win. I'm gonna show you a little tool. I have put this in one of my other videos, but for those of you who are new to me or haven't watched that one, Cookwise does now have a jar opener. It was $19.99, I wanna say, on Amazon. And it opens the jars beautifully. Let me just push that away a little bit. Ooh, nice seal. Okay, so for making this into the New England base of clam chowder, you're going to be doing equal parts of butter, and we're gonna melt that. Let's get that melting. We're gonna be creating a roux. So you're basically gonna be doing equal parts of butter and flour and create a roux, and then you're gonna slowly put in your 2 cups of milk and thicken it up. We have our butter melted. Then we're going to be adding in slowly and mixing it together, the flour and the butter. This is going to be our thickener. I'm going to slowly add in my milk. See how it's getting nice and thick? Keep going. I'm gonna add in the rest. 2 cups. And then next I'm gonna be adding in my clam chowder. Oh, looks really good, doesn't it? Just gonna show you real quickly what it looks like. Last night I had some leftovers. I could have made a 1/2 pint jar with what I had left when I did my 9 pints. My hubby was like, I want to eat some. So I was like, you know what? Have at it. He didn't even wait for me to add the cream in. He was like, I'm eating it like this. I don't need it to be creamy. And he said it was delicious. He loved it. And here you are. I'm gonna thicken this up a little bit more, but you can see, you could add some parsley in here, seasoned to taste, a little more salt and pepper. But actually, what I added for the recipe was enough for me. I think all I would do yet is do the parsley and some pepper, no more salt. A few little notes. Clam chowder is a little bit more expensive soup to make. However, what I did is to purchase the clams. They were on sale a lot around the holidays, especially. They were on sale a lot. They were like 2 cans for sometimes $3. So what I would do is I would every week buy like 2 cans. And when there was a sale, I'd buy like more than that. You know, stock up on them when they're on sale. Treat yourself to some clam chowder. But 1 pint actually comes out to about 3 cups of soup, because what you're adding is 2 cups of milk, the pint of the base. It actually would be enough for at least 3 people to have a bowl of soup. So I just wanted to point that out. And when you're making the Manhattan, 2 cups of chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of chopped celery, thyme, and also a bay leaf. That's how you would make it into Manhattan clam chowder. Thank you for staying while we opened up a jar. Thank you for visiting my channel. I'm again Beth, and I would love to see you subscribe and like my video. And I will see you next time at the Miller Life Kitchen. And thank you, SuttonsDaze and 4 Jars Lids. Have a great day. Bye.